Hi, I'm Dan Logan from Applied Education. What is Microsoft Project and what will you learn by attending a course at Applied Education? Well, MS Project is a tool used for planning and secondly, tracking. Let's talk about both. Planning, the first part, and that's what most people use the tool for. They simply plan a project and then discard it. So the planning stage is where we're going to go through and list all the tasks in a project. We'll organise them and use headings and so on. Once we've organised and listed all our tasks, we can link them or sequence the tasks. And by linking, we'll end up with what is known as a critical path, identifying the tasks that may influence the finish date of the project. Once we've linked our tasks, we'll assign work and duration to our tasks. So sometimes you can have many resources on a task and the duration will be quite short, whereas one resource will make the duration much longer, obviously. So we look at resourcing, and part of that we identify levelling issues where we might be under-resourced. We have costs associated with those tasks. Now that'll be fixed costs, variable costs like labour, and also materials. Finally, once we've costed the project, we've levelled it, we've linked it, identified the critical path, we've really completed the planning stage of this tool. And we'll create from that these reports, we'll create what's called a Gantt chart, network diagrams, and we can have a look at the status of what we think is going to happen with this project. Now, before we look at the second part, once we've planned it, we can finally baseline the project, and the baseline is the whole key. That's what we think is going to happen, and that's what the customer is going to sign up for. This is the plan, this is the duration and the resource, the cost, and so on. The second part is tracking our project. So once we're live, we're then using Microsoft Project to input variance to things like time, cost, duration, work. So a task might take longer because something was late being delivered. The scope of works might have changed. The customer added some extra detail, or we had some issues which created problems elsewhere. So all of these variances we can report on. We'll add a nice progress line to our Microsoft Project Gantt chart so we can see those. And that variance we identify and use to hopefully bring the project back on track and make the stakeholders aware, that things may be going well or not so well, and know in advance if we need to change what we're doing. So the real power in this tool is not the planning, it is actually the tracking and the variance. Unfortunately, many people don't do that. And that's really, in a nutshell, what you'd achieve in day one of our Microsoft Project course. On the second day, we go through what I would call the bells and whistles. Now, the bells and whistles will be things like using sub-projects, the reporting, exporting data into Microsoft Excel and creating pivot tables, overtime, custom calendars, and so on. Finally, on the second day, you'll get to create another project again in class, working through from start to finish to really reinforce what this tool's about. Now, if you can't attend, we do have the course online that I've written, and that follows the workbook, and there's about 30 videos there taking you through step by step using Microsoft Project. Any questions, please contact us at Applied Education. Thank you.